It has a Disney feel, Russian style, a winter playground newly opened in Moscow, but with an illustrious past.
It is very famous place in Moscow, and it was the same from Soviet Union.
At every turn, you see a reminder. This was Stalin's Exhibition Park, opened in 1939.
The agricultural exhibition is another showcase of life in the Soviet Union.
A showcase of Soviet superiority, reveling in the conquests of all the republics of the USSR. This place has always been a symbol of achievement and pride. Derelict once, Putin's government has transformed it, stoking a sense of patriotism and nodding to the glory days of the Soviet Empire. But today, as Russia skates towards a renewed nationalism, there's a negative undercurrent, a we versus them, promoted by government, reinforced by most media, Russia against the West.
They want to crash us. They want completely crash us to get our resources and to divide country on little districts and just to take our tubes, our gas, our oil.
Daria Aslamova is a special correspondent for Komsomolskaya Pravda, an old paper with an entrenched point of view. A recent headline, did the Americans plan the Paris terror attack?
Майдан 2013. Театр демократии.
Reporting from Ukraine, Aslamova mocked the Maidan as a theater of democracy, Kiev's latest sightseeing destination.
They need very weak European Union, who completely will be dependent from America, and they need very weak Russia. That's why they provoked this conflict in Ukraine.
On Russian media, that message track is continually marched out. Fascists staged a coup in Ukraine. Crimea was sovereign Russian territory, and terrorists threaten Russians in East Ukraine.
Потому что будут всегда стремиться к тому, чтобы посадить его на цепь.
President Vladimir Putin orchestrates this ultranationalism.
Несправедливо, что Сибирь принадлежит вся России.
In the beginning of 2014, all independent media were practically crushed or just absorbed in the big conglomerates which were controlled by the government.
Irina Prohovora is a cultural historian, a publisher, and deeply worried about the reemergence of severe propaganda.
People become very aggressive. If I have some talks on television or say on radio and people call, they start accusing immediately that you're not patriotic, that you're not true citizen. All remnants of this totalitarian propaganda. And that, I think, it's very dangerous and very sad.
Politics is not the only sphere. Western morality is also under attack. A top Russian news program recently reported America is deliberately exposing young boys to homosexuality. As proof, it offered up an advertisement from US TV. Whoa! The original shows a boy's delight at a birthday gift, monster truck decals on his bedroom wall. The Photoshopped version on Russian TV shows drawings of naked men on his wall. Is this how a child's playroom should look? Asks the announcer.
I think this is the most immoral, to seduce people, becoming, part of this repressive campaigns.
Public opinion is hardening. The West to blame for Russia's economic crisis, too. Opposition increasingly controlled and belittled.
Echo Moskvy, for example, opposition radio. I hate them, they are liars, honestly.
So the opposition media here lies?
A lot. They like to exaggerate situation and try to show everything what we are doing is just piece of shit. That's why I think they are liars.
Атмосфера добра, внимания.
As President Putin stares down two crises, Ukraine and the domestic economy, his supporters fan his cult status. A new YouTube sensation, a Siberian songstress, croons, My Putin, my lovely Putin, I'm charmed and bewitched.
И возвращаешь Крым.
You return Crimea for us and will revive the Soviet Union.
Ты возродишь Союз.
People who are nowadays in power, they think that the only way of ruling and governing effectively is to turn on the screws, so to say. People sometimes simply are afraid to tell you the truth.
Geopolitics and propaganda, too serious probably for a weekend skate. But a Soviet-style message campaign is being exhumed in Stalin's old exhibition park. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Moscow.